this weekend was the last weekend of the Super Motocross World Championship, the Grand Finale in Vegas. I was saying in my What to Watch that I recorded earlier this week that I would have loved to attend the Vegas one. It's so close. Of course, we've been to Anaheim too, and it's such a great atmosphere. It's such a fun event to attend. I mean, the sound and the smell and just the racing is super, super fun. And I think from what I was seeing, the vibes in Vegas were just insane.
Was it a day race?
No, it wasn't. Like, it was already dark when they were racing.
That's how I want it for Vegas.
Exactly. And it I mean, it's big because it's on a drag strip, and it seems
it's
like
outside of Vegas, right?
It's outside. I mean, it's but it's not like far.
No. I think I know the area where it might be, but it's not like in any one case.
Not like F1 in the streets.
The middle of that, because obviously they're doing off-road.
Yeah. So going into this weekend, there was a lot on the line because the championship was still wide open. Of course, I haven't watched all of the final rounds or the playoff series, but even for both championships, it was really up to these last two motos. So for the 250, it was between really Joe Shimoda, Seth Hamaker, and Hayden Deegan. And for the 450s, it was between the Lawrence brothers as well as Eli Tomac.
Okay.
So there was still a lot for play, and it was quite intense. I mean, you already got some of my first thoughts and feelings of it this morning, because I watched it on Sunday morning. Once I had gotten up, I watched the replay of it. I didn't have a chance to watch it live, but boy, oh boy, it was an intense races, very intense and emotional partially also. So the first round, I'm going to start with the 250s. Joe Shimoda was going into it with, I think he seemed to be, from what I was gathering, the favorite going into this weekend because he had a little bit of a lead, but it was definitely still up to also Seth Hamaker and Hayden Deegan. Of course, Hayden Deegan, he's already won things this season, and he wanted to, of course, finish it off with this title as well. So in the first moto, Joe Shimoda came in first, Hayden Deegan came in second, and Seth Hamaker came in third. And then there was immediately a crash at the beginning of it, and then also Hayden Deegan had crashed into, accidentally, I think it was DeFrancesco or something like that. That one was really not Hayden's fault. The other rider went over, he had lost his rear wheel a little bit. Hayden Deegan was already jumping or getting ready to jump. Then his tires had hit the other rider's head. Then he fell, and then the rider's leg got caught into his own wheel. Then also, so it looked nasty. He ended up getting up and like being taken off the field. Hayden Deegan was able to continue his race, and he made up incredible time, really impressive. But then the second race, and this is the race that pissed me off. I know, because you were just preaching about you want more fight in Formula One, like competitiveness and like maybe not so much passiveness. And I think this went too far. You know, so we were going into Moto 2. Seth Hamaker was leading. Hayden Deegan had a better start than Joe Shimoda. They started next to each other, but then Joe Shimoda backed off a little bit going into the first corner because he, of course, couldn't risk falling or like having a very poor race. So he was behind Hayden Deegan for a while. Eventually he passed, and then it was based on the points, it came to the point where essentially Hayden couldn't, I'm trying to remember how it was correctly, but it was basically Hayden didn't want Joe to end up ahead of him, you know? So then he had let Joe Shimoda pass, but then he purposely started getting aggressive. And he had already gotten a talking to before the race. He got an official, I think, warning letter from the AMA.
Interesting.
For rough riding. Because, I mean, we know that he's done this in the past. He did it to Seth Hamaker.
He did it to his own teammate.
Yeah, he also did it to Seth Hamaker during the Supercross finale. He did it to Sorry?
Is it Cody?
No, he did it to Cole Davies.
Cole Davies, yes.
Yes.
Sorry, not
And
Cody.
then so this time, you when you watched the race, you saw Hayden was watching Joe and trying to slow down so Joe could pass him, and then he was speeding up to crash into Joe. And he did it a couple of times. Joe always stayed on the bike. He did it like, I think 3 or 4 times, and then by the 4th time, they both crashed and they both got off the bike. Joe was able to get back on the bike, and Hayden Deegan couldn't. And he was holding his arm. And I was like, stop fucking faking this shit. I was so annoyed because I thought he was putting on a show. It was clearly his fault because Joe just wanted to ride away and win the second moto as well. But Hayden Deegan was out of the race. He ended up breaking his collarbone, which I think is... I'm a good person, and
But you kind of like play stupid games to win stupid prizes.
Yeah, exactly. Like I always hope for the best for people, and I don't like rooting against people. But Hayden Deegan is making it really hard for me to root for him. I'm all about being competitive. I'm all about putting your elbows out and really fighting for your win and for your championship. But once you get
he saw the
dirty,
F1 movie,
bro. I was so triggered after watching that second moto because I'm like, this is not.
Wait a minute, but Joe win?
Well, I mean, Joe ended up coming in second in the moto. He ended up winning.
Yes, that's exciting. I don't get why you're so upset. I thought the whole time when you told me this morning, I thought it was going to end up with you telling me that because Hayden was fighting dirty, that he ended up winning.
No, but it just pissed me off,
that.
because there was such a high risk.
Joe! Let's go, Joe! Vamos!
Super exciting. Joe won.
Sorry.
Seth Hammaker ended up coming in, I think, second overall too, which is great for him because it's a lot of money that they win. But it's a bummer because he almost got the win again, But it's just like Hayden Deegan just pissed me off, and he also got I think he got points deducted because of rough riding again. So was it really worth it? And then now because he has a broken collarbone, and I think in 2 weeks they have the real World Championships where he was part of the US team, which is not sure if he can even compete now. So he didn't just screw himself over, he screwed over Team USA. So I'm like, bro, it's so childish. It's so also immature. And it's like,
I have 2 thoughts about this. It's also like, it is very interesting because I think there's 2 types of competitors out there where it's like, not to bring him up all the time, but like Max, he would not be like, oh, I'm going to have you come close to drive 30 against you. It's like, hey, have you seen this cool trick where I drive away and you can't catch me?
Yeah.
Whereas Hayden has this idea, I guess, that he will just try to, elbow you out of this. 2 things. I know that this sometimes happens, and I don't know exactly the AMA ruling on that, but it is pretty intense that you've already, again, talked to. My thought also is that this way of riding, I don't think this will go over well for you once you hit the 450.
I'm really curious how it will fare for him. And
I don't see if you did something like this to like Jason Anderson or someone like that, one of those guys.
Or Jet also.
Or any of the guys.
Any of them.
Like, especially like you're trying to run into like a 30-year-old, they're going to be like, have you seen this called older body and strength?
But it's also, I mean, like I said, I don't like rooting against people usually. Like, it takes a lot, and he's done a lot for me to want to root against him now next season, And I usually, if like a rookie comes into the major leagues, I usually root for the rookies
because you want them to do well.
I want them to do well. I'm a sucker for an underdog story. I mean, who isn't? But it's like I would root for you. But for Hayden Deegan, I am not going to. I want him to be crushed, and it hurts me to say it because I'm not that person, and that's why this is making me so upset.
Look what you made me do.
Yeah, literally, that's how I feel. And I'm like, guys, I've been meditating. I've been really good. Like, my mental health is good, but he's like really pushing me to the brink.
Hayden Deegan is destroying my mental health.
That's the thumbnail.
Oh my god, that is funny.
But it's just, it made me so upset this morning. I watched it this morning at 8 a.m.
Like, I can feel that you're so upset about it. What I think is so a little bit funny about this is because I think if this would have happened and I would have witnessed this, I would have been like, oh my god, I can't believe that this happened. But also, Joe,
you still lost.
Yeah. But also, like honestly, how do I say this without sounding like the worst person? In a way, this is like the best case scenario. You reap what you sow.
Yeah.
You did dirty driving and then riding.
Yeah.
And then not only did you not win the championship or the playoffs or whatever,
Yeah.
you also fumbled that back and then you got yourself injured. Dude, that is the worst case scenario
Yeah.
for any of this. I wonder if someone in his team will have a talking to him because, like, bro, what did you even do? I'm now curious to actually go back and rewatch that.
Yes.
Because it seems an insane.
I do want you to just watch those couple of laps where he does this bullshit,
It
because
just seems like an insane tactic.
and it just makes no sense.
Can I
also,
ask,
you know. Mhm.
So this was when like Seth was first.
Yeah, Seth was first. He was far beyond them. It was
But-
really just Joe and him battling
But
there for a
was it-
moment.
Was this the thing where it's like, oh, if Joe would have finished third and Hayden second, he would have not been able to win the championship? The only way for him to win the playoffs or whatever is by Joe crashing out? Was that the scenario?
I think that's what it was. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong. If people in the comments,
But if-
you can correct
But
me.
if that's the real reason, that's pretty insane. That you're purposely also maybe in a way. I'm not saying that he was trying to hurt Joe.
Yeah.
But trying to get someone to crash, to fall off, that is pretty intense. And also, like, Joe already broke a finger this season.
Yeah, and he was sick, I think, the last round, so he already didn't do quite as well as he
But
wanted
it's like
to.
you already got a head up on him. He injured because someone was holding out a fucking shield, and
Yeah.
he, like, I'm not saying this person did it on
Yeah,
purpose,
no,
right?
of course.
But it's like so unlucky. He
Yeah.
broke his finger, which is so vital in a
Yeah.
sport like this.
Yeah, and I felt
Disappointing
in a
behavior,
way. It
really.
also I felt like it overshadowed like Joe's win a little
Mm-hmm.
bit. Like obviously he won and it's exciting, but it was like a weird atmosphere. I feel like a little bit,
Also, like,
you
your
know.
collarbone is something that is quite vital with those jumps.
So that's why I'm like not sure how he will
In 2 weeks'
if he will
time?
be competing in the World Championship. I mean, the whole thing about the Super Motocross being called a World Championship already is it's weird to me.
Because none of the, like, FIM motocross are participating in that, right?
No, this is a separate. And it just happens in the U.S. You know, like all of the races are in the U.S. Most
I
of
mean,
the riders are
that's the
American.
thing of being a world champion after winning in the US.
Yeah, so yeah. Anyway, so that was just the 250. Then the 450 was emotional on a different spectrum.
Okay.
So it was this weekend. It was going to be between Jet Lawrence, Hunter Lawrence, and Eli Tomac. All three still had their chances. It really depended on how the motos went. Moto 1. Moto 1. Jet won. Eli came in second, and Hunter came in third. And so that was already very.
Good for a Jet.
It was great for Jet. It was shitty for Hunter. Because he really needed that second place from Eli Tomac. The thing was also this weekend, Hunter was really sick, under the weather. Like a race, like a moto, it's 20 minutes, right? But it's so intense.
And
it's
it's
like
2 of those.
and you have 2 of those.
Plus the heats, right?
Well, they have qualifying sessions earlier in the day.
Yeah, but that. Oh, sorry. Yeah, but
Yeah,
that's
so it's a
still
little
pretty
different.
intense.
But it's still it's long races. It's intense. The surface on this track was quite different. There was some like thicker ones, some like slippery ones. They had some softer sand areas, and I mean it's pushing nonstop. You don't have like a straight where you can just chill or something like that. You know, it's super intense. And Hunter was under the weather. So then the second moto went underway. Hunter had an excellent start. He was riding in the front for a long time. Jet didn't have the best start. He was a little bit more closer to like the top of the midfield. But it's been like kind of his way of racing this season. He takes a little bit slower at the start, but he knows he has the pace and he kicks into gear a little bit later, just to maybe also be safe and stuff like that. But then eventually he kicked into gear, and then he was getting closer to Eli, but then he lost a little bit of time again.
Where was Eli in that situation?
He was second, and then but there was still a good amount of time, and then Hunter was riding out a lead, trying to keep a lead ahead of Eli to be safe, but you could tell, like, I mean, even before the second moto started, like after the first moto, he was just dead. You know, I mean, it's so exhausted. So it really everything was up to this last moto, depending on where the 3 of them ended up. Then I think with like 5 maybe a little bit more than that time left. Chase Sexton went down. I never even saw a replay of it, which I was a little bit upset about. I get it because there was a lot of intense racing happening, but I was like, he was down and he stayed down.
Maybe that's why they didn't show it, because it was so bad.
I don't know. He was on the floor for a long time. I did find out now that he has like a mild concussion and some weak shoulder or something. They're going to keep an eye on. But
is he also Team US? Or is that because he's 450, he's not eligible or something?
No. I think it's Eli Tomac, Hayden Deegan. Maybe it's Chase. I don't remember right now off the top of my head. But then it was really the battle. Jet was then getting closer and closer to Eli. And then, so the thing was, if he passes Eli, he wins. If he doesn't pass Eli, Hunter wins by 9 points.
I wanted to make a joke, but I won't. It's like Eli let him pass and then try to crash into.
No, that's not Eli. He's a gentleman.
Yeah.
He's a dad.
Yeah.
But then
it's also like, I'm 32. Like, I'm not gonna purposely crash into someone because that shit fucking hurts.
No,
dude.
exactly. But then so he was getting closer. Jet was making up time. Then he lost time again. And then the commentator was talking to stuff again, which reminded me of MotoGP. They're like, "Oh, is he gonna let Hunter win on purpose? Is he gonna take it easy on him?" I'm like, guys,
not in a million years.
No,
Hunter would want to win because Hunter made it happen.
Exactly.
And the same way Jet will never give him. It's like, this is not a thing that they do in the Marquez brothers. It's not what the Williams sisters ever did.
No.
This is not a thing. These are competitors.
These are they're top world athletes.
Yeah.
They're not gonna let their sibling win just to let them win.
I don't even let you win in Mario Kart.
Seriously. But like,
you win because you won.
They're gonna be competitive, and they might not go like full like elbows out, like pushing them, like playing dirty with your sibling, but like you're gonna compete
100%.
fully against your sibling. So I hated that when they were talking this. I was like, come on,
this
guys.
is like, I know you're talked because like James would have never let Malcolm win.
No.
And Malcolm would never let James win.
No.
Whoever wins they win because they're better.
Exactly. So then with like, I think it was like the last lap, literally the last lap to go. Maybe it was just getting into the white flag area, and then Jet passes Eli Tomac. And then Hunter
was like, "Why, Eli? What the fuck?"
And then Hunter goes through, gets the checkered flag first. Jet comes through, like, I forgot how much later, but comes out later, like a second and a half or something. And of course, he wins the championship. But boy, there was no real celebration.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Jet was, he was, even when he was being interviewed by Will, after he got the world championship trophy, he was like, my head is so confused right now, because I'm like, I want to win, because obviously he's a competitor, but then he also knew that Hunter was really sick this weekend, so he couldn't do like his full self, and he also doesn't want to let Hunter just win, of course, and like, so he wants to be excited for his win, and he also won $1 million. But then he also
has a nice house. I seen it. I seen his house.
And then he also, of course, is bummed for his brother, because his brother didn't really have like the full chance to win, just because he was so sick. And it's like, and it was really just the last race, the last, like the last couple of laps. So it was really a bummer. And then Jason interviewed Hunter afterwards, and Hunter was like, "Yeah, I mean, it's hard." And like, you can see they're emotional. And then Jet got off the stage and he was crying. And it's just like, it's like, I get it.
Yeah,
like,
it's tough because if you win against Eli and then whoever else, it's like, yeah, dude, like I won against this random dude that I'm racing against. Like colleague in a sense, right? But your own brother, and
and it's like, and they've been so close in the championships. They've been 1-2, 1-2, both of them are so competitive. And it was just like, I think Jet would have felt better about it if Hunter was at 100% this weekend. Yeah. Because then maybe he wouldn't have.
Yeah, because then maybe Hunter would have been able to pass. Hunter would have been able to pass Eli in the first race.
Well, he was ahead of Eli, and then he just lost the position to Eli right towards the end, because he was just running out of gas. You know,
dude. But it's like, if you're sick, dude, this is the thing. Like, your body is just not where it needs to be, right?
Yeah, and So it was just like,
But that kind of also makes it a little bit exciting because, like, I feel like now Hunter is where we want him
Yes.
to be, where Jet is at.
Yeah.
I mean, Jet is a phenomenon.
Yes.
Let's be real. Jet is out of this world.
Yeah.
But Hunter is right there too, right? And we have those two in the next year. We'll have Kenny back 100%. And
I mean, Kenny was already back. He ended up finishing in 4th now. So he ended up winning $200,000 also.
Get your bag, boy!
Right? And I mean, Hunter Lawrence ended up winning $500,000, which is a good amount of money.
Yeah.
But I mean, still, it's
But that's gross, right?
but it's it's before taxes.
It
But
should be
it's
post
also
taxes.
but it's like even the commentators were saying it at the end. It's not about the money for them.
No.
It's about pride and championship,
of
and
course.
it's like that's what it's about. And
I
it's
mean, yeah, of course. Like, it's in the end, it's about holding the trophy, everything that you've worked for,
Yeah.
right? So hard.
so it was an emotional.
But it seemed like it was actually
final.
a really awesome final.
No.
Like, people who went there got their money's worth.
Yes, 100%.
I'm almost now upset that we didn't go because it sounds insane
Yeah.
on both ends. Also, that the boy Joe finally got his dues. I'm so
Yes.
excited for him.
Yeah, and then Seth Hamaker also at the end was like, yeah, he's really he's looking forward to like the break now, but he believes he can take it next season. You know, because he got so close. Both
Yeah.
like
And I think, what is it, last year he was really close to?
yeah, exactly. So
Did
I mean,
he win the East?
I don't,
West?
oh, gosh, I don't remember right now.
Sorry guys, this has been a minute.
Yeah, but I mean, it's I'm excited for a break now, but then I'm also looking forward to next season.
Let's be real. Also, all of these athletes deserve a break because, goddamn, do they do a lot of work.
Yeah.
So yeah, enjoy your breaks.
Yes. And then we're gonna now talk about some